Now I hope that you are understanding. Snowing, as I told you, it is a combination of two words, snow plus ing, so it makes a noun, so we call it gerund. We also call it verbal noun because it is made of verb plus ing, so it is verbal noun and it is also known as gerund. Okay, then the next word we have from Indus River system. Once again, from, as you know, from is a preposition. From is a simple preposition. We have different types of preposition. We have simple preposition, we have double preposition, we have compound preposition, we have phrase preposition, we have also disguised preposition. These are different preposition. We will discuss it in detail but later. Now, as I told you, from is basically a simple preposition. Now the next word we have in grammar, square feet of water. Square feet of water. Now you see, square basically tells us about the word feet. Feet is noun, as you know, so square is working as an adjective. It tells us about the word feet, which is noun, so square is working as an adjective. Of water, once again, square, million. Square million also tells us about feet. So million itself, it also works as an adjective. We call it adjective of number because it tells us about number or quantity, so we call it adjective of number. So these both million, square, both tells us about feet. These two words modify or tell us about the word feet, which is a noun, so these both words are working as adjectives. Now the next word we have of water. Of water, you know, this is basically a prepositional phrase because it starts with a preposition of and ends with noun. But here it was as an adjective phrase because it tells us about feet, noun. Feet of water. Of water tells us about the noun feet. So of water here it was as a modifier, or what we call adjective phrase. Now the next word is being received. Now you see, this is a passive structure. This is a passive structure. We call it present continuous structure. Is being received. Being is basically used in present continuous or in past continuous when it is converted into passive form. So it is a passive form of a continuous, of progressive tense. Being is used in present continuous or in past continuous when it is converted into passive voice, so we use the word being. Okay, and received is third form of verb, so this is passive structure. In 1960, Pakistan signed. Now you see, signed in India. Signed, as you know, this is main verb and is second form of verb. With India. Now with is preposition. With is a preposition. India is noun. So once again we have this prepositional phrase, starts with a preposition, ends with noun, India. So this is combinedly, this is prepositional phrase. This is prepositional phrase. A water treaty. A water treaty. Now you see, India, a water treaty. This is a phrase, a water treaty. A is preposition, but here it was as a determiner. Determiner is a word which introduce a noun. So A is working as a determiner. So a water treaty, combinedly we call it noun phrase. Water tells us, means modify this treaty, so this is noun, and water is working as a modifier or working as an adjective over here. A water treaty, combinedly it is a noun phrase, and the key word in this noun phrase is the word treaty, which is noun. Okay, the next word, which brought. Treaty which brought, which basically relate or tell us about water treaty. Water treaty, so which is working as a relative pronoun. We call it relative pronoun because it relates a noun which has been discussed before. एक noun के बारे में बताए, उसको replace करता है जो already discuss हो चुका है. So हम इसको कहते हैं relative pronoun. Clear? Which brought major changes in the sources of water for Pakistan. Now once again you see, for Pakistan it is once again starts with a preposition, ends with noun, so this is a prepositional phrase once again. This treaty gave the right. This treaty, as you know, this is basically a demonstrative adjective. It tells us about this noun treaty, so this is basically a demonstrative adjective. Here it works as a modifier. This works as a modifier. This treaty combined, this is a phrase, and it is a noun phrase because the key word in this phrase is noun treaty. So this is noun phrase. Gave the right of three eastern rivers. Now you see three eastern rivers. These both words tell us about rivers. Rivers is noun. So three is adjective, eastern is also adjective. Three is adjective, eastern, because these both words tell us about the noun rivers. So three eastern, both are adjectives. Then we have whereas. The word whereas is basically working as a conjunction. We call it subordinate conjunction. Whereas is a conjunction. It combines this first one, this clause, and the water of Indus combines this other clause. So it combines these two clauses. It works as a subordinate conjunction. Where is basically subordinate conjunction. Okay, the next word, to be used. To be used, once again we have this structure. It is a passive structure. Now you see by Pakistan. So by is a preposition and is noun. This is prepositional phrase, and this structure, to be used is basically a passive structure, not an active structure. Isko passive voice mein use kiya jata hai, to be used. Now the next word, we have another structure. It consists once again consists of, this is a prepositional phrase, because means this is what we call prepositional verb. Consists, it is a verb, it is followed by of preposition, so we call it a prepositional verb. We call it prepositional verb. Areas of mountains, basins of quetta, and once again we have another word, and is also a conjunction. It combines two phrases, two clauses, and sometimes two sentences. So this is a conjunction, and we call it coordinate conjunction. Where is subordinate conjunction. Where is हमेशा जो है where is जो है कौन से clause से आगे आता है, subordinate clause से आगे आता है. Means it always precedes a subordinate clause. So we call it subordinate conjunction. हम इसको subordinate conjunction इसलिए कहते हैं क्योंकि subordinate clause से आगे आता है, तो इसलिए हम where इसको क्या कहते हैं, subordinate conjunction. and जो है हमेशा coordinate clause या independent clause से के शुरू में आता है, so हम इसको कहते हैं coordinate conjunction. and is coordinate conjunction and where is subordinate conjunction. Now the next word, we have basin of tributary draining. Okay, tributaries of tributaries. Once again, of is preceded by precedes a noun. Now you see, so of tributaries is a prepositional phrase, starts with a preposition. Tributaries is noun. So this is I mean to say prepositional phrase. Okay, draining into, once again we have another draining into. So draining is verb and into is preposition, so we call it prepositional verb, because this verb is followed by a preposition. Into is double preposition, so we call it prepositional verb. The next word we have, it means rivers are piscine. Now you see, it is a what we call, this is personal pronoun which is used for non-living things. He, she, they, I mean to say those are the pronouns which are used for living things, and it is used for non-living things. So it means rivers, main rivers. Main is adjective because it tells us about the noun rivers. This is noun. And are is not a helping verb over here, though basically it is an auxiliary verb, but here it was as a main word because there is no other verb which could be held by this are. आर के साथ और कोई वर्ब नहीं है जिसको आर जो है उसको हेल्प करे. सो ये हेल्पिंग वर्ब की जगह इस्तेमाल नहीं हुआ है, ये यहाँ पे मेन वर्ब का काम कर रहा है. सो आर बुनियादी तौर पे आर जो है एज एन ऑक्सिलरी वर्ब, बट हियर इट वर्क्स एज अ मेन वर्ब. समटाइम वी कॉल इट लिंकिंग वर्ब और कॉपुलर वर्ब. सो आई होप दैट यू हैव अंडरस्टूड दिस. Now the next word we have, and once again coordinate conjunction. Many is what we call, it is also an adjective, other is also an adjective. These both adjective tells us about the noun streams. So these are adjectives and nouns. I hope that you have understood the grammatical structure along with the translation and sketch. Thank you and have a nice day ahead.